Greetings, citizens. Justiguy has arrived. This is 9 hours, persons indoors, and there's a picture. In the drawer was a single picture. It had just suffered a nasty breakup, you see. He picked it up. It wouldn't be single no longer. It was a photograph of 4 men. What the? Not bad, Ace. Not bad at all. Involuntarily, Junpei's eyebrows shot up. He'd seen 3 of them before. What the hell is this? This man with a mustache on the right. Oh! He's the same guy we found murdered in the captain's quarters. He had the 0 bracelet on his left arm. And this second man with the glasses and a doctor's coat. He's the 9th man, the one with bracelet number 9. He died after he went into door 5. But this guy, the one in the striped suit. Oh man. That's Ace. Yeah, I guess it is. No doubt about it. Definitely Clover to come to peer over Junpei's shoulders. But what does it mean? What is Ace doing in this picture? Not only Ace, the 9th man, and Cap, too. As Junpei looked closer, he noticed the expression on each man's face. The smiles suggested that they were close, at least to some degree. And they look happy, like they knew each other well. Why? How? How in the world are these 4 men connected? Snake's voice broke into Junpei's thoughts. Have you ever heard of a movie called The Human Centipede? That is how they are connected. You say Ace is in that picture? Yeah. Doesn't look like it was taken recently, though. Ace, the 9th man, and Cap all look about 10 years younger? Ah, so the 9th man and the man you found murdered in the captain's quarters are also in the picture. Yeah. Is there anyone else, or are there only 3 people in the picture? I'm afraid I can't see it. No, there's one more guy. He's got kind of long hair. He looks smart, but a little cold. He's the only one I don't recognize. Snake knit his eyebrows. What's the date of the photograph? It doesn't have one. Did you look on the back? Back? Yes, the reverse, the other side. Junpei flipped the picture over. Ah, there it was. Praying for the success of the Nonari project with Nijisaki, Kubota, and Musashi-do. To be precise, it was not a date, but it was certainly significant. He read it out loud so that Snake would not be left in the dark. Praying for the success of the Nonari project with Nijisaki, Kubota, and Musashi-do. Nonari project. Nijisaki, Kubota, Musashi-do. Junpei immediately flipped the picture back over. The 4 men in this picture were the organizers of the Nonari game 9 years ago. Since Hongo wasn't mentioned, Junpei figured that could only mean he'd written the words on the back himself. That means Ace, the 9th man, and Cap were all responsible for making it happen. But I feel like I should be more shocked about this. It's almost as if that's just how things were always supposed to be, alright. That their true identities did not come as a surprise was what Junpei found most surprising of all. Why? Why am I not surprised? Ace was the one in charge of the Nonari project, but why? Why am I so calm? It's like I already knew. Of course, I understand now. Junpei looked over at Snake in his own confusion. He had missed the dark look on the other man's face. Ace was the CEO of Cradle Pharmaceuticals. He was the one who invented the game 9 years ago. He was Gentaro Hongo. I was about to say, this predates. You don't know what I'm thinking, don't worry about it. Ace is Hongo? Even as he asked, Junpei felt as though he'd already known. Oh, Takashi would be so ashamed. Almost as if someone had whispered into his head that, yes, of course Ace was Hongo. I had my suspicions from the beginning. Their voices were similar, too similar to be a coincidence. I could never forget his voice. It was the voice of the devil. I couldn't be sure, though. After all, I had no way to check. I certainly couldn't ask him. Even if I had known, however, I would never have told you. Zero made it quite clear what would have happened if I did. Oh my gosh, I had no idea. Huh? I didn't know that Ace was Hongo. Oh, yes, I suppose you wouldn't have. 9 years ago, you were in Building Q in Nevada. But Hongo was in the Gigantic with us. I know, that's why I didn't know what Hongo looked like. But why? Why didn't you tell me? I mean, I'm your sister, right? You could have told me. I'm sorry, I apologize for keeping this from you. But if I'd told you, Clover, you would have told everyone else. And if you did, then I would have been forced to tell them about what happened 9 years ago. I had to prevent that. Gods. Clover and Snake's conversation wasn't of particular interest to Junpei, especially since we know pretty damn well Clover would have kept her mouth shut. He still couldn't make sense out of his strange feelings of knowledge. He was trying to organize his thoughts when he heard Seven's voice. Hey, Junpei, you think I could borrow that picture for a sec? Sure. He had no reason to say no, so Junpei handed the picture over. We had to see Junpei some kind of guts. Seven stared at the picture and began to mutter the full names of the project's leaders over and over to himself. Hongo, Oda, Nijisaki, Musashido. His brow was furrowed and his face was flushed. Hongo, Kubota, Nijisaki, Musashido. Chanted their names to himself, pacing back and forth across the floor. Hongo, Kubota, Nijisaki, Musashido. Seven shouldn't have known their names. After all, he hadn't been there when Junpei and Snake had spoken of them in the library. As Junpei watched him pace, it was clear that he did know them. Hey, Seven, do you? Shut it, just be quiet. His eyes were red and Junpei could see sweat beginning to bead on his forehead. I'm this close to remembering. This close. He was sweating heavily now, but his lips were dry. Hongo, Kubota, Nijisaki, Musashi, though. Didn't he do this when we were with Lotus at one point, I think? Radio Pharmaceuticals, Nonari Project. Then he stopped. Seven set down the picture and looked at the red light near his feet. His eyes narrowed, then suddenly his eyes went wide and he shot up straight. Shit. I gotta take one. What? What's wrong? Holy shit. This is nuts. What's nuts? I remember. Remember what? Everything. Everything. Yeah. I remember all of it. My memory's back. I remember what happened before I got snatched. Seven's voice was filled with excitement. What? Shock and excitement had frozen Junpei in place, along with Snake and Clover. Let me tell you what happened. Seven hastily drew a shaking hand across his mouth and began to speak. Like Snake said, Ace is Hongo. With the right, the other three are Musashido, Nijisaki, and Kubota. Musashido was the man with the cash. Nijisaki was Hongo's right-hand man, and Kubota developed the actual technical details of the experiments. Realization began to dawn on Junpei, along with a pressing question. How do you know all of this? Come on, man, I told you, I finally got my memory back. No, that's not what I mean. I'm trying to ask you why you know all this stuff in the first place, before you forgot it. Seven rubbed the scar on his chin. You really want to know? Of course! Me too. Snake was the only one who didn't voice any sort of agreement. He looked at Junpei as if he was simply waiting to see where Seven's sudden recovery might take him. Could Snake have known Seven? This is gonna take a while. Hell, it'll probably take me 3 days to tell you everything. We don't have 3 days, though, do we? Just give us the short version, alright? Short version, huh? Damn. The big man pulled off his hat and scratched his head. He made a face and put his hat back on. Alright, fine, I'll give it a shot. No promises, though. Van Clover nodded earnestly. I'm a detective. It's a little awkward to say this about myself, but you could probably consider me a lone wolf type. I hold to my own code, as I think doing what's right is more important than doing what you're told. That was why I followed my gut that night. slim lead brought me to the wharf. It was 9 years ago. The wharf had become cold as fuck and I could barely see squat. I was investigating a mess of kidnappings, all of them children. You've heard of them, right? The Hope's Peak kidnappings. They'd all had one thing in common. A history of visits to one particular hospital. A hospital under the management of Cradle Pharmaceuticals. In my investigation, it turned up evidence that Cradle had been involved in the kidnappings. After a little sweet talking, I managed to finally get a real lead from someone inside Cradle. Oh god, it's Lotus, isn't it? My source told me this. Oh, never mind. Tonight, the ship is set to take the children onto a large passenger liner docked offshore. So I headed to the wharf. The shadows. I searched the harbor until I found the ship he was talking about. Oh, it's young Seven again. There was a bunch of movement near it. Men in black suits, many of them carrying large bags. The bags, see, there was something about the way they moved as they was carried. No doubt about it, they were human beings in those bags. I moved before I realized it. I came out of hiding with my gun already in my hand. Don't move. I felt metal touch the back of my head. Drop the gun. I could kill you right now. It'd be easy to get away with it too. Just tie an anchor to your feet and no one would find you for a week. That's what you want. The fish here would love a meal. I kept digging the cold metal thing into my skull. Gah. There was nothing I could do. I did what he said and laid my gun on the ground. Then suddenly, there was a sharp pain in my neck. A needle. A rug? That was my last thought. My face in cold concrete. I was out like a light after that. Ugh. I woke up on a hard floor. Damn it. Shit. My head hurts. I did a quick once-over of the room. Where am I? A small, shabby bed, a dirty sink. A toilet with no privacy. I'd seen it countless times as a cop. I'm in a cell, huh? Duh, 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 duh. Facing the toilet was a door set into the wall. I was still pretty woozy, but I made my way over to it. I pushed and pulled on it, but it won't open. Not like I expected much else would be dumb enough to put me in a cell and leave it unlocked. Threw myself against the door a few times, but it wouldn't budge. I knew it. I gave up and made my way back to the bed and sat down. Dots. Dots. Did I mention dots? I sat there for a very, very long time. Who knows how long, not me. Then I heard a faint voice. That voice was far away. I couldn't understand what it was saying, but I could hear one. It was a pretty high, probably a little kid. Why, some punk college student have I gone ruined the joke? Gasp. Her or ear? K-ing. No, it was several. I have 5 or 6, maybe more. Where were they coming from? I pressed my ear to the wall and tried to listen through it. No dice. No, that's not it. What? Oh, ow? Left? It's come from under the bed? I hauled on the metal frame and flipped the thing over. And there it was. The bed had hidden an air vent under it, hole in the wall, cover on no grate, blah blah blah. We know this. Why are the kids in there? The night the ship is set to take. Yep. Whoa, am I on that ship? Checked out the book break. Can I fit? Stuck my fingers in red. Hung, unga, unga. Hurrah! Pat, yeah, how'd you like that, you son of a bitch? I finally got the damn thing off. So it streamed down my face, so I scraped it off all inside. The first bit was so tight, I had to wiggle on my bed. Climbed up eventually, and there was space for me to crawl along my hands and knees. After crawling like a worm on dirt to skittering like a bug. Couldn't say it was much better, but I'd take what I could get. And when I'd been in that thing for long enough to start wondering where to take me. A massive sound nearly scared the piss out of me. It was like a heavy metal door that had been just slammed shut. There was a voice. Warning! Warning! Emergency incineration command has been... Oh no, not that again. Automatic incineration will take place in 19 minutes. Please evacuate the incinerator immediately. Repeat. The emergency incineration command has been acknowledged. What? I wasn't sure what it meant, but anything with incinerator is bad news. And almost as if that was a cue, I heard a masses of young, rounded voices. No! Help me! A bunch of them was straight up screaming in terror, and all the sounds together made a howl that made the hair on my neck stand straight up. Damn it, what the hell is going on here? I scrambled through the duct as fast as I could. I made a giant racket, but I didn't care at that point. I soon found a metal door on the left side of the duct. The kids were screaming on the other side. I'd found it. I yanked the handle and threw the door open. I almost ripped the metal off its hinges. What the hell is this place? I couldn't believe what I saw. The room had a dome up top, and there had to be about 9 walls, all the same size. Up in the ceiling was an upside-down funnel, almost like a chimney. I looked down. Whoa! There they were, the kids I'd been searching for. Is Snake one of them? Is that Snake right there? Under the arrow? I bet it is. They all gawked up at me, suddenly silent for the moment from surprise and fear. Scared of the room or me, I could tell. Probably both, actually. Not that I can blame them running into a mug like this when they're already scared shitless. I snorted at my own dig at myself and turned to the kids. Don't worry, kids, I'm not your enemy. I'm one of the good guys. All of them stood there frozen. Well, except one. He was a boy, slightly older than he is, in a private school uniform. I don't think this is Snake. Who the hell are you? He stepped forward and glared at me suspiciously. Oh, are you Santa? I'm a detective. I'm here to rescue you. It looked like they relaxed some the second I got the words out. How are you gonna help us? Where's the exit? There isn't one. The doors we came in through won't open at the door over there. He kinda cut himself off. I think he was considering something before he changed his mind. Anyway, there's no point. We can't all get out of here. If we don't get out of here, we're gonna be burned to death. Burned to death? I can't allow this. Can't you hear it? The voice said this incinerator is gonna start up soon. So. The voice spoke again. Incineration will begin in 15 minutes. I only had 15 minutes. I looked back down at the kids. Looks like a good 20 or 30 feet to the floor. No way could I pull them up too big of a distance for any of us to reach. What the hell was I gonna do? But then I got an idea. Wait right there. I'm gonna be right back. What? Where is he going? You're just gonna leave us here? They just got frightened again. I'm not the best at this kind of thing, but I tried to reassure him with a smile. Don't worry, alright? I'll be back, I promise. So just stay calm right there. Got it? I didn't wait to hear them respond. It wasn't time. I had to hurry. Well, as fast as a guy in his hands could. Didn't take me long to get back to my cell. Still no way out of here, but I had a plan. I needed something from the room. When I got it, I dove back in the hole and took off towards the incinerator. Then... Sorry to keep you waiting, guys. I tipped out of the doorway and dropped down the rope I brought with me. Back in the cell, I torn the bed sheets into strips and tied it together to make a rope. It was sloppy, but it got the job done. Alright, just tie that around yourself, okay? I'll pull you up one at a time. Right. Oh, wait a sec. Something was off. There were more of you before. Where'd the rest of you go? The boy in the uniform answered. I let them go on ahead. We opened the number 9 door and they left. What? You're telling me you opened that door? That's what I said. And what the hell are you doing here? We couldn't go with them. Why not? Look, only people who go to the number door. He was in the middle of explaining when... So 7 basically just barged in on the previous game. Incineration will begin in 5 minutes. The walls shook a bit from the voice bouncing around. Look, that can wait, alright? Just get us out of here. Right. He grabbed onto the rope. The first one I pulled up was a girl with a ponytail. Next was a girl with a red necktie. The boy in the jacket came after us, said he'd climb up on his own. The boy in the uniform was the last up. Like the other kid, he climbed up the rope himself. He looked pretty scrawny, but I guess he was stronger than he looked. He moved fast, but when he was almost to me... Uh-oh. We heard some knocking. Everyone looked at the door. It had a thick, square window set into it. On the other side, an angry face was staring in. That's Ace. What was my Ace voice? Ah, fuck it. God damn it. What's going on here? No, I can't. I fucked my voice up the last time I did this. What's going on here? Why is the room empty? Where the hell are those fucking kids? The door opened and a man stepped in, looking half mad with fury. I recognized his face. I saw him many times in photos during my investigation. The man's name, it was Gentaro Hongo, the CEO of Corrado Pharmaceuticals. Hongo saw the boy hanging from the rope. Hurrah! It was like he was an animal. He lunged for the rope. Hurry! I know. The boy in the uniform booked it up the rope. You son of a bitch! Get back here, you little shit! 15 feet 10, the second I could reach the kid, I grabbed him. I hauled him up and tossed him into the duct behind me. Gah, no! Hongo had lost it. His face didn't even look human. It was like the bastard pulled off his fake face and he was really a terrifying devil. Some kind of damn monster. I quickly reeled in the rope, leaving a furious Hongo yelling at me from the floor. You fucking bastard! You want to get away with this? How dare you compromise this experiment? Experiment? What experiment? Incineration. 1 minute. Hey, old man, what the hell are you doing? Hurry up. The boy in the uniform was trying to get my attention. He may have thrown a salute in a raging asshole's face before... you know what it means. Before I closed the door behind me. No point to going back in this cell, so we went down the other direction instead. After about 30 feet, we came across another duct on the left. This one was heading down. Everyone nodded and took turns sliding down it. The duct emptied us onto a narrow hallway. There was a door on either side. The one on the left was a normal double door, but the one on the right was familiar. It had black and yellow stripes and a device next to the wall. A plate on it read Incinerator. Yeah, that's where we were. Was the girl with the red tie who answered me. You were inside an incinerator? Yes, Hongo might still be in there. Looks like it's been shut off, though. Wait, what if he's still in there? Yeah, that's not good. Ugh. It means we gotta get it out of here. Go to the other door, hurry. The kid started running and I was close on the heels. On the other side of the door was a large spiral staircase. Run! Didn't need to tell him twice. We went up and up and up. Our feet pounded into the steps. Our arms were pumping fast. We went round and round and round like the devil was on our tail. Gods. The stairway kept going. Oh, that is absolutely a snake. We passed a couple landings when the boy in the uniform suddenly spoke. Something's up. Akane's not catching up to us. Akane? My kid's sister, the girl with the red necktie. Akane, that's strange. I don't remember seeing that name on the list of missing kids. Hey, Akane! He cupped his hand around his mouth and yelled. Nobody answered him. Maybe we outran her. The boy in the uniform skidded to a stop. I stopped too, so did the other two kids. Why did we do that? Well, we passed a couple big rooms on the way here. Maybe she took a rest in one of them? No, that's impossible. Sorry, Grandpa, you keep going. I gotta look for her downstairs. He turned to go. Hey, kid, wait. Goddammit, I said wait. Not the kid even heard me. Fuck. I spun around to the boy in the jacket and the girl with the ponytail. Went after him. Keep going, alright? You got it? The girl nodded and ran up the stairs, but the boy... I'm going with you. Guts. I didn't have time to argue. I just nodded and took off down the stairs. I could hear him following me. We ran all the way to the bottom floor, calling for Akane. There was nowhere to be found. God damn it, where the hell did you go? I could tell the kid was frustrated, and then suddenly... Help me, suddenly help me! We heard a girl's voice. Akane. The boy in uniform threw open the door and leapt into the hallway by the incinerator. We rushed after him. I couldn't for the life of me believe what we were seeing. That bastard Hongo had Akane by the arm and was forcing her into the incinerator. Okay. I'm seeing the big picture here. Come on, goddammit, move. I want to play a game. No, I don't want to. Let me go. Please let go of me. She planted her feet squarely on the floor and was struggling to get away, but Hongo was bigger and stronger. She wasn't gonna win. Akane! Her brother roared with anger and charged toward Hongo. Why is it Kani now? Help me! You're too late, idiot. That is weird. Hongo lifted Akane bodily into the air and threw her, still fighting, into the incinerator. What? Ah! Before we could even blink, Hongo leapt through the door after her. We saw him land inside, and then the door slammed shut. We ran to the door. We did everything we could think of to get the thing to open. But... fuck it, you the goddamn thing won't move an inch! He started slamming his fists against the door. He was supposed to shatter his knuckles with how hard he pounded on it. Akane, are you okay? You came back. The voice was muffled, but all of us could hear the sheer terror in it. What should I do? I think I'm trapped in here. Why is it saying this? Where's Hongo? He went out the other door. Well, what? Warning. Emergency Generation Command has been acknowledged. Automatic generation will take place in 18 minutes. Please evacuate the incinerator immediately. Repeat, Emergency Generation Command has been acknowledged. Are you fucking kidding me? The same damn thing. Are you there? Yeah, we're here. Just hang up. Yeah, we're here. Just hang on, Robert. We're gonna figure out a way to save you. His words would seem like a sick joke to her if she'd been able to see how white and bloodless his face was right then. Incineration will begin in 17 minutes. Please help me. I'm really scared. I don't want to die. Please, I don't want to die. It's gonna be alright. I'll figure something out. I promise. Can you hear me? I promise. He was torture, listening to her sobbing on the other side of the door. My brother was nearly crying himself. He could only stand there, fists clenched so tight his knuckles were white. Dot? What? It was silent. All they could hear was the creaking of the boat as it shifted in the water. They waited and waited, but Seven didn't continue. What happened then? Junpei couldn't wait any longer. He had to know. Seven looked at the floor. Oh man, put yourself in my shoes. Doesn't end good. Think I want to remember that? Yeah. Shit, if I'd known it was gonna be like this. I almost wish I hadn't remembered. Seven shook his head. There was something Junpei had to know. Hey, are you sure? Huh? Look, I don't want to ask this either, but there's something I don't get. Thoughts. So if you could just tell me, that girl Akane really... Seven stared straight ahead and nothing. Yeah, I'm sure. There wasn't anything we could do. After a while, the countdown ended. And we heard something burning. The fire stopped, but we still didn't move. Me and the jacket kid were frozen. The boy in the uniform collapsed as if he couldn't hold himself up no more. A few minutes passed. The door opened. The boy in the uniform tripped over his own feet, running in. He followed, too numb to speak. The air in the incinerator was hot. Every breath made my lungs feel like they was on fire. It's like standing on hot asphalt. The air was wavering. In the middle of the room, there it lay. The kid's legs were shaking so bad I don't know how he managed to walk. I couldn't see his face, but his body somehow looked empty. Finally, he remembered. He fell to his knees as his legs gave out on him. And then... Oh! pit of stomach. I mean, that's... A feeling of sickening anticipation washed over him. He could feel his body shivering. Dots. He desperately did not want to know the answer. He feared he knew already, but he had to ask. He had to know for sure. Can I ask you one more thing? What's that? Girl, Kane, what was her last name? What does it matter to you? Just tell me, okay? Please. Seven looked at Junpei curiously and ran his tongue quickly over his dry lips. Kurashiki. Her name was Akane Kurashiki. Something inside of Junpei stopped. He had no more words left. He had no more Junpei left. He was just a cell of flesh and bone. Why? Why? We know she's alive. Seven turned to Snake. You were there that day, weren't you? The tall kid in the jacket. That was you, wasn't it? Yes, it was. You are correct, Detective. His mind was blank, withdrawn from the world. Somewhere far away, you could hear Seven and Snake talking. Don't misunderstand me. I told you before how Zero threatened me. There was nothing I could do. I couldn't say anything about what happened 9 years ago. So you're saying you're not working for Zero, right? Of course not. Rover, what about you? Hey, come on. You really think I'm working for Zero? I told you before, you idiot. I was in Nevada, building Q. I did hear that a detective rescued the kids on the boat, but I didn't know it was you. Your surprise seemed to be genuine. Severin regarded Clover for a moment and rubbed his chin thoughtfully. Well, I guess I believe you. Clover nodded. Alright, let me ask you another question. He stuck his hand into his pockets and took a few steps. Then he stopped and turned to face them again. Santa's real name is Kurashiki Aoi. He's Akane's brother. You know that. You know that? No, I didn't. Did you? Well, yes, I know Kurashiki Aoi was her brother. But I didn't know he was Santa, at least not from the beginning. 9 years ago, he was in the middle of puberty. His voice is entirely different now. I'm ashamed to say that even my exceptional hearing wasn't able to make that connection. As such, I had no reason to think Santa was Aoi. When did you figure it out? Clover told me that Santa might have been one of the subjects of the initial experiment. It was only a short while ago while we were leaving the library. When she told me that, I had a feeling. Santa is Aoi? Kane Kurashiki, Jun's brother? That spark caught flame in Junpei's leaden mind, and the fog began to clear. Like an engine beginning to turn, images and thoughts began to coalesce in his mind, coming faster and faster, forming bigger images, bigger thoughts. Junpei blinked. He was back. There's still a lot we don't know. I mean, like, a lot. But there is one thing I think we can say we know. What's that? The body we found in the shower room. It had to be Nijisaki dressed up to look like Snake. What? Come on, man. What kind of detective are you? You didn't figure that out already? Hey, go easy on me, man. I just got my memory back, alright? Give me some slack. Well, if he is, the three murders make sense then, don't they? Yeah, that's right. Murder. Kubota blew himself up, but that was murder too. So why did these murders take place? If Junpei is correct, and the body in the shower room was Nijisaki's, that means all of the people who were murdered were involved with the creation of the Nonary project. Kubota, the person who conducted the actual experiments. Nijisaki, Hongo's assistant. Musashido, the man who financed the project. I mean, this was all just revenge? Santa Zero, he's getting revenge for the death of his sister. That's why he killed them. No, I don't think Santa actually murdered anyone. In fact, Junpei didn't think he knew. He couldn't explain why or how, but he had no doubt that Santa had killed no one. Perhaps the madness of the last several hours was finally driving him insane, but Junpei had ceased to be surprised at his sudden knowledge, and had even begun to accept it. If I'm right, then it's not hard to figure out who the next victim's going to be, is it? I'm pretty sure that I don't have to tell you. Yes. Yep. Great. Snake, Clover, and Seven all nodded. The next target would be Hongo Gintaro, the person who planned the Nonary project. In other words, Ace. There was a moment of silence. What? My god, what could it be? I guess we'll have to find out next time on Nine Arrows, Persons, and Doors, because until then I'm afraid this is gonna have to be farewell.